Sounds good.
Thank you guys for being here and for joining us today. I'm going to make this, boom, there we go. We're going to talk about going to college and some of the changes that are coming down the pike. And I know that the seniors, when they started their junior year, they said, I can't wait to be a senior. And right now, they can't wait for the senior year to be done so they can be freshmen. And this is not the senior year that any student ever wanted. And I know many students are stressing about a lot of different things. And so today, students, what I talk about is how we're going to go from stress to success. And when I say stress, there's lots of stress factors, and success is applying, get admitted, and going to college. And so I always say it takes two things to go from stress to success. Ask questions, follow directions. And it sounds easy, right? Now, I was doing this presentation in person, and I showed that slide. And when I said ask questions, the mom hand shot up like a rocket. I don't know what questions to ask. I said, whoa, 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 slow the roll. Because part of it is I'll tell you students what questions to ask, but it's not just the questions to ask. You have to ask the right person or the right people. And so I always say, if you ask the right questions to the right people, my job and every admission counselor is to help you find the perfect college and how to pay for it. Look, there's nobody that doesn't think it costs a lot to go to college, but it's certainly worth the price. And so today we're going to not only talk about the cost, but how to bring that down quite a bit. Well, this is me, Gary B. I am an admissions counselor for the University of New Mexico, but I don't work at the University of New Mexico. I live in Ventura. Now, I started at the University of New Mexico in 1974. There I am. I graduated last century. One time I said that, and a student said 100 years ago. I'm old, I'm not quite that old, but so when you start thinking about admission counselors, every college has an admissions office. You want to get admitted to college. Guess what? Ask questions, follow directions, and ask the admission counselor. So I saw somebody was interested in schools in Michigan or MIT or A&M. Any college, start by connecting with the admission counselor. We're going to tell you, this is what it takes to get admitted. This is the requirement. This is the application. Now, I'm part of a group called Regional Admission Counselors, and there's 119 different colleges that have admission counselors living in California, out-of-state schools. And we represent big, small, urban, suburban, all across the U.S. and even international. Look, I work for the University of New Mexico. I see Hawaii Pacific there. I see Texas Tech, Colorado Mesa. So there's lots of different options. And so if you can go to our website, and I'll give that to you later, it's regionaladmissions.com. And our job, every admission counselors, we're trying to help students with what I call the amazing process. It can be overwhelming when you start doing this if you don't have somebody to help. And Mrs. Ide, thank you so much for doing what you do and helping steer these students through that maze. It's an amazing process to have somebody like you. So class of 2021, this is going to be fun. In class of 2022, there's more to do. We're going to talk about why go to college. I mean, growth and learning. And I always say the further you go, the more you'll grow. The location. You're going to learn in the classroom, but we also want you to experience outside the classroom. And that outside the classroom is part of that growth and that going to college. There's nobody that wants to be living at home when they're my age. Well, I live at home, but it's my home, right? So at some point you will start that transition away from being with your mom and dad. I call my mom frequently. She's 87 years old and I love her. I mean, I can't wait to talk to her. It's Friday afternoon. She's going to say, how was the week? So you still have that parent connection. All right, students, you're starting early. Seniors, you have missed no deadlines. And juniors, you've got an entire year that you're going to be looking at colleges, which is perfect. So by this time next year, you can start getting some applications done. I talk to students about going to college. I bet you seniors, they are so eager and excited. They want the COVID to be over and they want to get out of the house and go to a class. I got it. And some of you might be nervous. It is a little bit of I'm going to be leaving home. And many students are both. One of the things I find students are nervous about, especially now, is the ACT or SAT. Look, many colleges today have become either test optional or test flexible or test blind. Ask the admission counselor at New Mexico. If you haven't taken the ACT or SAT, you can get admitted and get scholarship without it. That's great. Not every school is that way, but ask, do I need it? We'll talk about some options today. And the essay. Some colleges require an essay. Look, the Cal States don't require an essay, and the UCs call it personal insight questions. If the essay needs to be 300 words long, and you ask, is it okay if I send 500? You know what colleges are going to say? You can't follow directions. So definitely follow directions, ask questions. Your number one fear, students, I find, is getting admitted to college. Ask questions, follow directions will help you get admitted. And for parents, the number one fear is, hey, how am I going to pay for this once my student gets admitted? Seniors, juniors, I always say it's not a matter of if or when, but where. Guess what? Seniors, in just a few short months, come May, you're graduating. And by this time next year, you found a new home. You'll be in a class. I know there's vaccines coming. They're in development. They're in phase 3 already. So there will be a vaccine, I guarantee, within the next 6 months. When there's a vaccine, everybody's going to be back to somewhat of a normal before COVID situation. Colleges all across the U.S. are looking for California students, and not just across the U.S., across the world. And I mean, I live in California, you guys live in California, the whole world loves California, and basically here's why. Babes, Babe, Beverly Hills Beaches, boys, Beyonce, Bieber, everything starts with a B because California is beautiful. Here's our beautiful traffic. I think we all know that's the 405. And I figured out why it was called the 405 because I was usually going 4 or 5 miles an hour for 4 or 5 hours with 405 of my best friends. And then now look, it is crazy if you're thinking about going to college in California because of the number of students. There are 500,000 high school seniors in California. 500,000 high school seniors? That's 500,000. And puts a lot of pressure on the options. So what are the options? Look, for California students, we've got public, private, in-state, out-of-state. You can go to a community college. Great option. If you started a community college, you may then transfer to a 4-year. You could get a 2-year degree and have a great option there. Cal State University. If you're going to apply to a Cal State, you cannot apply quite yet. And I want you to start checking the Cal State website. And I know Ms. Ives got Cal State coming to talk to you guys in the near future. And so I would check the Cal State. You can go on there. They'll talk about what their application is going to look like and what the parameters are. This is straight from their website. There's 23 Cal States. One thing you don't want to do is miss the application, right? Now, you can apply starting October 1st. The deadline is December 4th. They've already extended it once. Typically, it is November 30th. We've got the UCs. And I always say, do you see yourself at a UC in order to have at least a 3.0? Students, 3.0 is a good GPA. It's not perfect, but it's really good, all right? Now, the ACT and SAT policy with the UC is in flux. It looks like they're test optional for 2021 and 2022 and 23, 24 is test blind. Check with your admission counselor with the UCs. But it's not just grades and test scores. There's extracurricular, there's personal insight questions. Now, the UC application is open, but not for submission. You can start working on it, but you can't submit it till November 30th, okay? So Look at the dates and deadlines. And again, I know you have UC counselors coming to talk with you guys, so I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you how to apply to a UC. Just know that come November 1st, you can submit your application. You can start working on them now. You'll submit in November. You'll find out in March if you were admitted. That's called regular decision with the UCs. Lots of different factors. The first thing every college looks at, even before we look at your GPA, is to make sure you've done the college coursework. And so students, you're here today because you've done college-ready coursework. You're ready to go to college. Good grades is certainly important, but that's not the only factor, right? Look, your senior year, special projects, your talents, your achievements, many factors are what makes you eligible and ready to go to college. In California, we've got private schools. There's 75. So we've got community college, Cal State, UCs, and independent or private schools. Outside of California, out of state could be great. Don't wait. There's 3,400 options. Now you hear out of state and you start thinking expensive. Well, no, not necessarily. Many colleges out of state will cost less than staying in California, and I'm going to show you how that works. There's a program called the Western Undergraduate Exchange. Students that live in California can go to a neighboring state. You can go to Washington, Oregon, Idaho, New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, Wyoming, Montana, New Mexico. Did you hear New Mexico was looking for students? Many states say, hey, we're your neighbor, and we're going to open the doors. Come explore. So what WUI does is reduce your tuition. It won't affect the housing or the books or other costs, but you want to pay less tuition. Start asking a public school if they're a WUI school in the West, right? So you're a resident of California, you go out of state, you're a non-resident, but there are 85 out-of-state schools that have the WUI tuition, 85, okay? So California gets to be an exporter. Look at all these students that left California just last year to go to a neighboring state and pay reduced tuition. At New Mexico, if you live there, it'd be almost $9,000 if you're a resident. Non-resident, 24 grand. Wait, with a 3.0, I can get a whole lot of dough to go to New Mexico? That's right. So you can pay the very same thing as a resident of New Mexico. You've earned it. You've worked hard. And then get some other money on top of that, okay? So you want to know how to get the dough to help you go? Be admitted. Ask questions, follow directions. Meet the qualifications at New Mexico 3.0. There you go. And there's no separate application. Some schools might. Talk to the admission counselor. This website right here, students, if you're doing screen grabs, witchy.edu, that'll get you to the list of all the colleges that have the WUI program, the WUI tuition. And then what I want you to do is start connecting with the admissions office, all right? Don't rely on this one website. Not every website's always 100% true and accurate. Hey, at one school you could be eligible and another school competitive, right? To be eligible for a UC, you have to have a 3.0. Now, at New Mexico, 3.0, you get big dough to go. Entiendo? So, how are we going to do this search? Gary B, there's 3,400 colleges. Well, just Google search the perfect college for Erica is. No, that's not going to work. But think about what will work. Students, when you start thinking about college, think about a location. Somebody said, I want to live in Michigan. Oh, great. The weather's going to be different. And think about not the college, but the environment. Do I want big city, urban, suburban? There's options. Yeah, Albuquerque, New Mexico, UNM, we're in the Rocky Mountains. We're certainly, Albuquerque's a big city, but we're not metro. We're not something like Chicago, Philly, New York. I couldn't live in rural where there's nobody and nothing to do. Students, there's colleges that have that. Look, couldn't go to a small school. Soka University has 428 students, and they're in Mission Viejo. Guess what? Arizona State has 70,000 students. They've got classes bigger than Soka University. Every school, think about it. Do I want big, small? What are some of the options? We know it costs a lot. But remember, out the door and 4 you score. And then everybody, you've got to get admitted. You're either in or you're out. In, win, out, pout. No, I don't. You just take off that shirt and cheer for another team. I'm kidding. Hey, everybody, location, size, cost, got in and fit. And so what fit comes down to, it's a two-way street, academics. Every college that you get admitted to, students, what we've just said is, hey, you're prepared. And you're saying what majors, what research, what academic options. There's a social fit. Students, we want you to have fun. And there's a financial fit. Let's talk about that financial fit. Now, every student always says, what's the tuition? That's not the question. The question is, what's the COA? How much am I going to pay? Okay, that's what you want to say. So tuition and fees is part of it. But remember, what's the COA? Private schools, no in-state, out-of-state. Public schools, you're a resident, non-resident, or maybe the WUI program. There's also housing and dining. We used to say room and board. Today, it's more glamorous. It's gourmet, the meals, OMG. Oh my, Gary B, that's crazy. So, hey, everybody, we all know ebooks, and that doesn't mean expensive. That means everywhere. You could be anywhere, everywhere, and doing virtual classes. And ebooks today are efficient. There's a cost for transportation. I don't care where you go to college, students, you're going to have to get there. So whether you're taking a plane, a train, an automobile, some schools even charge for parking. I know the UCs do, Cal States, and many community colleges. So there's a cost, even if you stay local. And the last big cost of going to college, I think every student knows my two best friends, Jamba Juice, Starbucks. So that's what we call the personal expenses, the fun. So here's the 5 factors: tuition and fees, books, housing, transport, the fun. What's the COA? Let me show you what you'd pay. If you stay in California, it'd be $100,000 to go to a Cal State and live on campus. A UC is close to 140. These are the 1-year figures. And again, some schools may cost a little bit more, a little bit less. And private colleges, there's no in-state, out-of-state. Let's look at out-of-state public schools. This first column, 33,000. Well, that's about the same as going to a UC. I know it's a lot of money. And so when you see that, you're saying, wow, OMG, oh my Gary B, that's crazy. That's a ton of dough to go, I know. Hey, I'm thinking Ivy League, isn't that expensive? My dad's praying the money will fall from the sky. It won't. But we're going to talk about financial aid. And the good thing, students, I'm an expert in financial aid. I'm going to explain it in 4 words. Financial aid's either need-based, merit, or both, combo. So let's start with merit. Merit in a single word is talent. Every student on this Zoom today has some talent, something that you're good at. Look, I was good with math. I got to go to college on a math scholarship. I wish I was a better public speaker. It would help me with this job, right? So whatever you're good at, tell a college, hey, I'm good at music. I've got good grades. Look, athlete, there's athletic scholarships, but only 1 or 2 out of every 100 students go to college on an athletic scholarship. There's more engineering scholarships than there are athletic scholarships. And so whatever you're good at, tell a college. Every college has scholarship, merit scholarship. And we've also got grants. Grants could be for research. These are not necessarily need-based, but research. And then there's also loans. Loans are small, they're not dangerous, just know what you're signing up for. And I think we all know about the great JOB program. JOB means jump out of bed and get to work. And students, you are doing that. You took time today to be here, and I'm so excited to see so many. Our job today is to help you find the perfect college. You and your family will help pay for it. Every college has money to help students go. Ask the admissions counselor. Corporations, foundation, and the government has money. The government money is through what we call the FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A. Do I do the FAFSA? 100% yes. It opens October 1st. So in a little bit over 3 weeks from today, you should be submitting your FAFSA. You can do it even before you submit a college application. But I always say you want to get that FAFSA done and all your college applications done by Thanksgiving. At Thanksgiving, students, you want to sit down, you want to have a nice Thanksgiving. I always say apply before pie. Apply before pie at Thanksgiving. If you're a senior, all the family's going to say, hey, did you get all your applications done? Where are you going to college? You'll say, everything's done. I'm just waiting to hear. Well, great. Class of 2021, October 2020, file the FAFSA. Okay, you're going to file this online. You're applying for need-based aid. If you haven't already created an FSA ID, you need to do that in the near future, okay? So go ahead and get that done. You're going to fill out this form online. Students, work with your parents, work with your school. I know you guys are doing virtual right now. You're going to have a financial aid workshop. When you do this online, the government's going to get back to you and say, this is your EFC. It says expected. It's an estimate of a family's ability to help contribute to the cost of college. It's an estimate. And every college, remember the COA, how much you'll pay? Tuition, housing, books, Jamba Juice, the whole enchilada. Sorry, I'm from New Mexico. And minus your EFC, and the government says this is your EFC for that year. You're going to have some need, and colleges meet your need with grants, loan, and work study. Grants, loan, work study. So you'll find out from a college, this is your need-based package. You can stack that with a merit package, and that helps you go. How do I get merit? Ask questions, follow directions, talk to the admissions counselor. Always do the financial aid as early, the FAFSA in October, okay? You're applying for scholarship. You are applying for college. You need to combine, find some scholarship. Look, you've done many things to get you ready for college. Tell a college what scholarships are available. What does it take? There's outside scholarships. If you've signed up with College Board, FastWeb, scholarships.com, you don't need to be paying. Look, this website right there, that's a University of New Mexico website to outside scholarship. I always say, be looking, work with your admission counselor. Students, we want to help you go to college. We've got the money. We're going to show you the dough to help you go. You don't need to pay anybody. I think we all know what scam means. That means scholarships costing any money. Skip it. And know when to apply. Don't miss deadlines. Apply before pie. Get your application, get your FAFSA done, and get your scholarships done. Is there a separate process? Some colleges, the minute you apply for admission, you've applied for scholarship. If you want to be in the ROTC or your parents were in the service, you have scholarship money happening. I'm going to do a quick review, and then we're going to talk New Mexico, and then we'll have about 10 or 15 minutes to answer all the chat questions that we possibly can. Right now, students, start doing that virtual tour. Look at colleges. Now, we're showing you the greatest opportunity. The videos are there. Every college has scholarship. There's going to be some parent nights coming up and opportunities for you to connect. Connect with university admission counselors. If you need an ACT or SAT, check with a college and ask us. Don't miss deadlines. Your email is how colleges want to connect with you. We'll connect with you, students. I'm going to make sure you guys have my email, Gary B. at the University of New Mexico, Gary B. at unm.edu. Don't miss deadlines. Watch your spelling and be kind. Utilize your admissions counselor. We're here to help. We've been doing this for a long time. We're experts. Every college has expert admission counselors. You'll always remember where you applied, got admitted, and where you go, obviously. I'm going to talk about where I went to college, the University of New Mexico. And I always ask students, what do you know about the University of New Mexico? And I always hear UNM. Unfortunately, not much. So let's start with location. UNM, University Not Close to Mom. That's right. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Flat and hot, we're not. We're in the Rocky Mountains. So you're probably thinking, whoa, New Mexico, mountains? That's right, UNM, University next to mountains. Many students have watched Breaking Bad or High School Musical, so they think they know Albuquerque. We couldn't tell you that it's a glorious town, and because it's not. It's a glorious city. It's not a small town. It's 600,000 people. If you looked at LA, where there's 20 million people in Southern California, we would seem smallish. There's skiing, snowboarding just next to campus, 20 minutes away. What is there to study? UNM. You name a major, we probably have it. UNM, university from nuclear to mechanical engineering and everything in between, chemical, civil, computer science. Intel's located in Albuquerque, New Mexico for manufacturing. Sandia National Lab, the Air Force Research Lab, Los Alamos National Lab is in New Mexico. Business majors, UNM, university with a number of management programs. So if you're looking to do business, New Mexico's a perfect fit for you. 10 different options in those majors. Maybe you're thinking, I'd like to do something in the health sciences. UNM, University for Nursing and Medicine, the largest hospital in the state, the only medical school. Sometimes students just don't know. And I always say, just remember, UNM. Undecided, no more, come explore, options galore. We've got what you're looking for, we'll open the door. Housing, UNM, University nice as a Marriott. Dining, UNM, unlimited number of meals, 24/7. Paying for college, the COA is not $35K, no way, that's not what you'll pay. UNM, you need money, we've got scholarship. 3.0 will show you the dough to help you go to New Mexico. Every student that applies for admission is applying for automatic scholarship. Look, we don't need your ACT or SAT. You simply apply online, no essay, no personal statement, no letter of recommendation. Send me your unofficial transcript. I will waive the application fee, I'll pay it. It's free. You'll be admitted, you're not committed. You don't need to decide UNM until next May. Apply today, decide next May. That's the way to play, I say. I appreciate you guys giving me a few minutes. And right now you're probably thinking, wow, class of 2021, time to get it done. You can apply today, do it online. It'll save you time. Use your phone, do it at home. Either way, email me, Gary B, and I'll waive the fee. Send your transcript. Don't worry about that test. I'll do the rest. 3.0, I'll show you the dough to help you go to New Mexico. You got a 4, you'll get more. 3.9 fine, 3.8 great. Don't be a fool, stay in school, it's cool. Go to college, get to knowledge. Gary B, remember me when you're making that list. UNM, University not to be missed. All right, so there we go. I hope you guys had some fun. I did. Remember, ask questions, follow directions. Gary B, stay in touch with me. All right, so we're gonna stop the recording and take the questions. Wow, we're up to 236 questions.